What he just pulled off is historic. Francisco Lindor made shortstop history yesterday in a vital win against the Seattle Mariners, further proving why he is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. And that is exactly what we're going over only here on Mets Digest. I'm your host today, Mike Duda. We're going to talk about how Mr. Smiles made history, but first we got to talk about some subscribers, and that being the fact that 69.4% of you that watch these videos aren't one. So please do me a favor, just a favor here on Mets Digest, and hit that free subscribe button. That way we can bring content to you about the amazing. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right in. Kicking it off with a great image. Look at Lindor on the base pass. Now, why am I showing you a stolen base here? It doesn't seem that substantial. It's his 205th career. He already passed 200. It's his 106 with the Mets. He already hit 100 with New York. So why am I showing you? It's a cool picture, but why am I showing you a picture of him getting a stolen base? Well, because that is where the history was made. Here it is. It was his 20th stolen base of 2025, meaning it is now his 5th career season going 2020. Of course, 20 home runs, 20 stolen bases. That is the most among shortstops in MLB history, with a minimum of half their games at shortstop. Alex Rodriguez, before going to the Yankees, was someone who played shortstop for a while, and then he converted over to a third baseman. And you'll see that because he is, in fact, above Lindor in terms of seasons with a 2020. But that is the reason why he is the most at shortstop and why you have to have that minimum 50% game threshold. That way, someone like Alex Rodriguez isn't considered a shortstop. So, regardless, amazing, amazing stat here from Francisco Lindor. It is indeed history. So let's turn it over to the experts. Bill Hain of the Sporting News is going to discuss the milestone, saying Francisco Lindor stands alone. No shortstop has ever done what the New York Mets superstar has now done. As of Saturday, Lindor is in the 20 home run, 20 stolen base club for the season. It's the 5th time that he's been in that group. No shortstop has ever done that 5 times before, according to MLB Network's Sarah Langs. We just saw that tweet there from her. The 31-year-old is one of the best players of this era. Known endearingly as Mr. Smile, he's been as advertised since heading to Queens from Cleveland. He goes on to talk about Lindor's 2025 season from a statistical standpoint, saying this season he's batting .255, which has gone up substantially, by the way, with 24 home runs and 20 stolen bases. Of course, the 20th coming yesterday. He's got a .775 OPS. It's a bit below his career average, but he's still special. He still does it with the glove, obviously on the base paths as well. And if the Mets want to break out of their funk, they'll need Lindor to get rolling. Francisco is a leader, and he's got to lead the turnaround. Now, there's a video that I got coming out tomorrow about Lindor and his season in depth, and just how important, like Hayen is saying, it is for Lindor to get hot, and how the Mets really just, their offense is reliant upon him. That entire team wins when Francisco Lindor is doing well. And with that, he is most certainly a leader. I mean, look at last year. I don't know if you guys remember this. This was in late May against the Dodgers, a loss 10-3. That is Jorge Lopez on your screen. This was a disaster. The Mets hit a rock bottom low last year in 2024. Of course, Lopez was DFA'd after he got ejected, threw his glove into the stands for whatever reason, and then had some really interesting comments after the game that sparked some controversy about if he actually said what he said. Again, go look up Jorge Lopez and you will definitely find that on Google if you're curious. But this is a video about Lindor because at this point, when the Mets lost this game, when Lopez threw his glove into the stands last year, the Mets were 22-33, 11 games under the 500 mark. They finished 89-73, meaning they went 67-40, a .626 winning percentage since Lopez threw his glove. And why did I bring this up? Well, Lindor, he called a players-only meeting. Who knows what he did because it's a closed-door meeting, but he probably did something or said something that sparked exactly what the Mets needed. And then, of course, they went on a magical run. 89-73, snuck in with the last playoff spot. Again, Lindor hits the home run to make it 8-7 in a 7-6 Atlanta lead. Takes the lead back in a crazy game 161 that got the Mets into the playoffs. And then from there, him, Lindor was leading it the whole way. Him and the team, they went really far. They had a magical comeback against the Milwaukee Brewers. Pete Alonso with the home run. Video coming on Alonso later today. And then, of course, they beat the Phillies in the NLDS and made it to just 2 games away from the World Series last year. So Lindor being a leader and being a captain-like player, he's not captain at least yet, but being a captain-like player and a leader, he is obviously someone who's great on the field, but also does it off the field and makes players better. He joined some great company. I was alluding to this earlier. Look at these guys. These are the most 2020 seasons ever seen. The most amount of times a player has gone 20 home runs and 20 stolen bases in a single season. You look at Barry Bonds, who is almost undoubtedly the best player in baseball history, with the exception of steroids. If you're someone that doesn't support it, if you're someone that wouldn't harp on someone for using steroids, you say, oh, well, they're still part of baseball history. That was the era. You'll probably say Barry Bonds is the best player of all time. If you're someone like me who doesn't support that and says, well, he cheated, then you're not going to say he's one of the best of all time, but you're going to acknowledge, obviously, the statistics are absolutely ludicrous when it comes to Bonds. And for reference, look at the company that Lindor, who's number 12 here, which is really tied for 11th, look at the company that he's in. Barry Bonds, who we just said is probably going to be the best player in baseball history based on your opinion. 7-time MVP, 14-time All-Star, 8-time Gold Glover, 12-time Silver Slugger, 2-time batting title. Jose Ramirez, he's got 7 2020 seasons, a 7-time All-Star, 5-time Silver Slugger. Former Met, Carlos Beltran, Rookie of the Year, 9-time All-Star, 3-time Gold Glover, 2-time Silver Slugger. And again, if it wasn't for him cheating, that time it was using the cameras in the 2017 season with the Astros. If he didn't cheat, he would almost guaranteed be a Hall of Famer. Alex Rodriguez, same deal. If he didn't take steroids, he'd be in the Hall of Fame. He's got some insane numbers as well. 3-time MVP, 14-time All-Star, 2-time Gold Glover, 10-time Silver Slugger, and a batting title. Hank Aaron, who's a Hall of Famer, one of the best players of all time, MVP, 25-time All-Star, 3-time Gold Glover, 2-time batting title winner. Willie Mays, Hall of Famer, 2-time MVP, Rookie of the Year, 24-time All-Star, 12-time Gold Glover, and a batting title. And the rest of these guys that I'm going to mention are tied with Lindor for 11th, meaning they have 5 2020 seasons. The thing about it, Lindor can keep going. He can work his way up that list to go tie Aroyd and company, and yes, I said Aroyd, Carlos Beltran and company, and then work his way up maybe to 4th of all time with 8, or hopefully above if he continues to absolutely tear it up. Of course, you got Lindor himself, 5-time All-Star, 2-time Gold Glover, 4-time Silver Slugger, and a Platinum Glover. Mike Trout, who's going to go in as a first ballot Hall of Famer, 3-time MVP, Rookie of the Year, 11-time All-Star, 9-time Silver Slugger. You got Hojo on that list, Howard Johnson, a former Met, 2-time All-Star, 2-time Silver Slugger. You got Darryl Strawberry, who won Rookie of the Year, 8-time All-Star, 2-time Silver Slugger. Andrew Dawson, who's the Hall of Famer, MVP, Rookie of the Year, 8-time All-Star, 8-time Gold Glover, and 4-time Silver Slugger. The total accolades for these guys are incredible. When you look at the top tied for 11, meaning everyone that has had 5 2020 seasons or more in their careers, you got a total of 3 Hall of Famers, 18 MVP awards, nearly 150 All-Star Game appearances, 59 Silver Sluggers, 7 batting titles, and 8 Rookie of the Year awards. A combined WAR of 1,427.8. Now, if you look at just the company that Lindor is on, meaning anyone that's got 6 or more is out of the picture. You only look at players with 5 2020 seasons in their career. That is still a combined 537.5 WAR. In fact, Francisco Lindor ranks second out of that company. Everyone in MLB history that has had 5 2020 seasons, exactly 5, he ranks second in WAR per 162 games, only behind Mike Trout, who is also obviously going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I personally believe Lindor will be first ballot. I think he should be at bare minimum. Again, still a lot of the career left, but I think he should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. And funny enough, Lindor, he's not behind that many guys in terms of this entire list. Anyone with 5 or more 2020 seasons all time, he's not that far behind in terms of WAR per 162. He's only behind Bonds, Jose Ramirez, Alex Rodriguez, Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, and Mike Trout. Now, that's 6 players, but if you take out Bonds and Rodriguez because they use steroids, you're down to just 4 legit non-cheating players that have a better WAR per 162 than Francisco Lindor of guys that have 5 or more 2020 seasons, meaning Lindor is just absolutely incredible. You see it with his career numbers. Look at the home run. This is organized by home runs. He had a 38 home run campaign in 2018. He has gone 30-30 once in his career, as I'll highlight here, the stolen bases. You look at the awards. I mean, he's been top 10 in MVP a bunch of times. He's won a bunch of Silver Sluggers, a 5-time All-Star. He is just absolutely incredible. Francisco Lindor is a pleasure to have on the New York Mets, and I am super, super glad he just made history. And he's with us for a long time, so when he inevitably does get into the Hall of Fame, it should be as a New York Met. So go down there in the comment section, congratulate Francisco Lindor on a phenomenal accomplishment, making baseball history as the only shortstop to go 5 times 20 home runs, 20 stolen bases in 5 different seasons. And the career will keep on going. The Mets have control of him throughout the rest of the decade. So give your congratulations down below in the comment section. Unfortunately, that's all the time I have for you in this video. A great one about Lindor. Awesome job there by Francisco, our shortstop for a decade. Go ahead, go down there in the comment section and congratulate him. Unfortunately, that's all the time I have for you in this one. Thank you so much always for watching, and let's go Mets.